So what's up guys, I am Black Ops Amazing, welcome back to another Zombies video where today we are back with the Q&A, the series where I take your questions from the comment section below to do the zombie storyline, Easter eggs, and I answer them. As always, if you enjoyed today's video, don't forget to drop a like rating, make sure you are subscribed, leave your comments, any questions you have down below, and as always, let's get into it. Here we go. Enjoy. So the first question of the day is from Gucci Arrows 1 and they say, "Hey BOA, why do you lose your perks when you get downed? Keep up the good work." So there are a ton of questions in Zombies that are similar to these, ones that don't really make sense in terms of story or lore, but when you think of it as a, well, what it is, a game, most things like this we don't really question and just put it down to game mechanics. If there's an actual storyline reason as to why this happens, then it hasn't been explained to us, we don't officially know the answer. Possibly it has something to do with Dr. Monty, but that doesn't really make sense. The perks are drinks that give us special abilities, special powers I guess you could say. These originally were supposed to be medicinal elixirs, so as to why we lose the powers that they give us when we go down, it's a question that I just don't know. Is it Dr. Monty, is it something else, or is it just simply game mechanics and we don't question it story-wise? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. The second question of the day from John Coffey says, "Hey BOA, could it be that the Canorium was written by Dr. Monty? I just wondered because it led Primis to Revelations, and this wasn't the way to end the multiverse. Could it be that the Tagdototen ending is a lie too? Really enjoy your videos, keep up the good work." So, who wrote the Canorium? Or more so, where does it come from? Who made it? So similar to the last question, we also don't have a 100% answer for this as well. If you look in the Canorium, on one of the pages where it talks about it, it says, "Among the artifacts that Maxis collected in Zero Base is an ancient book known as the Canorium, a complete chronicle of the entire history and future of all reality." So we are told that it is an ancient book. We already know what it does. As you say in your question, who wrote it? Was it Dr. Monty? Well, no, because we know the Canorium writes itself. Depending on who is reading it, the pages, the information, the writing in here changes. So it seems that nobody actually writes what's in here. The Canorium writes itself depending on who's reading it. If I was to read it, it would say different things if you guys were to read it. The Canorium that we see in Zombies is from the perspective of Richtofen. We are looking through his eyes at the Canorium. This is what he would see, but if Dempsey, Takio or Nikolai were to have a read, then the pages would be different. So no one wrote the Canorium. It is a self-writing book. It's magic. It is also an ancient book, but where it comes from, or who made it, if anybody, is kind of a mystery. We have quite a few different ancient artifacts in Zombies. One of those is the summoning key. We know that device was crafted by the keepers. We also have the Vril device, the focusing stone, which is 115, but this ancient artifact, whereas with them ones we do know the origin, this we don't. Possibly no one made it and it just appeared over time. How that would work, I'm not sure. It's kind of strange. You would think a book, someone would have had to have made it. Could it have been Monty? Could it have been the Shadow Man, the Keepers? And the bigger question I want to know is, where did Maxis even get it from? Because we know the first time that our characters came into contact with it, or it appeared in our storyline, was in Zero Base. Zero Base was a facility that Maxis constructed and used it to house ancient artifacts. One of those was the Canorium. He also had an origin staff in here, the robot Ted, and a load of other things, but where did Maxis get the Canorium from? Because his facility was the first time we saw it. So he must have got it from somewhere, but we don't know. There isn't someone who writes the pages, it does it itself depending on who's reading it. It tells you your past, present and future in all reality, and as for where it came from and who made it if they did, we don't know. The next question from Chris Morton says, "Are the radios in Classified and Blood of the Dead alternate endings because they didn't happen?" So I know what you mean by alternate endings being shown in both of these maps, however they weren't in radio form, they were in ciphers, and if I'm correct in thinking, it wasn't Classified and Blood of the Dead, we found these ciphers in Classified and Revelations. There is no radio or cipher in Blood that relates to an alternate ending, but if we go to the first one that we discovered back all the way in Revelations, this was the cipher up on screen, and I think we were quite lucky because there's so many ciphers in that map still that are unsolved. I think there's like maybe 4 out of 10 that are solved, which is absolutely crazy to think of some of the information that we just don't know. There could be more alternate endings that we just haven't solved. And it's such a shame because I don't think any more ciphers are going to get solved in Zombies. I think there's a lot of good stuff that we are missing. But anyway, this was it, and once solved, it says, I am the last of us, but I will be joining you soon, my friends. Cough cough, death is near. I hope what I have done doesn't come back to bite this universe in the ass. Thank God we'll all be gone, because if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world of shit. Maybe now, with us all gone, the children will truly be safe. Dempsey. So from what we played, we obviously never got to see this situation take place. It is clearly a part of the cycle, and there are many things that have happened in Zombies, whether it is our Primis and Ultimus characters dying, or them going to different places. Many other things have happened as part of the cycle, we just haven't seen it. When we play Zombies, that is the time when the characters successfully continue on to their next destination, but we know they've failed many times and different outcomes have happened, but because they were trapped in a cycle, the events were reset, and those alternate outcomes that may have happened, we don't get to see. We always, or pretty much always, in certain trailers and in this case, ciphers, Easter eggs, we do get to see or hear of the other outcomes, but when we play, we pretty much always get the outcome we are supposed to, where we successfully complete what we are there to do, and the cycle continues, and we move on to our next map. We don't get to see the cycle reset in game, obviously apart from the end of Revelations. But anyway, we can see in this alternate ending, it is from Dempsey, and it seems like he's gone into hiding from Dr. Monty. He says if Monty ever found this place, we would be in a world of shit. Maybe now with us all gone, the children would truly be safe. It seems like he is dying the way he's coughing, and Nikolai, Takio and Richtofen may already be dead, because he says maybe now with us all gone, either that or they are hiding with Dempsey. But then he also talks about the children being safe. And this is interesting because, obviously, when this cipher was new to us in Revelations, we had our suspicions that Monty was evil, but we didn't 100% know. Obviously, now we do. He revealed his true form in Alpha Omega and 8 Maxis. We now know he was continuing the cycle. That doesn't necessarily mean he was evil. It was the only way for him to stay alive, but at the time of Revelations, we didn't know to what extent Monty was going to be like, and so this cipher kind of gave us a little hint at that. Obviously this wasn't a part of the actual cycle, but this at some point did happen. The Primis crew have clearly done something to Dr. Monty. What? I'm not sure, and that's caused them to hide from him, because if he ever finds them or wherever they are, more than likely he would kill them. And Dempsey also mentions the children being safe, so maybe they've taken them with them and hid them as well, we don't know, but that was one of the alternate endings. And then also in Classified there was another cipher. It was this one, and when you translate it, it says, cough, field report, heavy cough, I don't know why I'm doing this. Is anyone even receiving me? Cough, if you are, then all hope is lost. I am the last one. The others, they're gone. We failed. I don't know if there are multiple outcomes or if this has always been the only one. No matter what we do, what we fix, we still end up here. This time travel shit, multiverse shit fries your brain. I hope Richtofen established contact with the others, woke them up. It's the only way now. It's up to them. Cough, damn it's cold, very cold, not much time left now. Similar to the last one, this one again is from Dempsey. He is coughing, it says field report, that's how we know it's him. And it also seems like, once again, he is dying. Now since this one is found in Classified and that map is part of the broken cycle, this is part of the broken cycle as well. If it is, then for me that doesn't make too much sense, because surely we would have seen this happen, and if it did happen, the cycle wouldn't have been able to reset. So this outcome that we are seeing here just doesn't really add up with the ending to Zombies, which tells me that just like the last one, this was probably a part of the cycle. However, this time it doesn't seem like Primis and Ultimus are hiding from Monty. To me it seems like in this cipher, they've just figured out how to break the cycle, or they're trying different ways to break it, and each time something goes wrong, because Dempsey says, I don't know if there are multiple outcomes, or if this has always been the only one, but no matter what we do, what we fix, we still end up here. So clearly, Primis are trying different things, but every time, the outcome is the same, and they fail. Dempsey says he is the last of them, and the others are gone. Whether he's referring to the other Primis and Ultimus characters, or the children, maybe the transit crew. Does he even mean Monty? Maybe, I'm not sure. And then he finishes it by saying, I hope Richtofen established connection with the others, woke them up. It's the only way now. It's up to them. The only characters that we know who are asleep in cryostasis were either Victus from Blood of the Dead, or actually the Ultimus characters that we killed previously in Der Eisendrache Zetsubo and Gorod. I don't think it's on about them, so more than likely he's talking about Victus. And we do see in Zombies, as part of the broken cycle, waking up Victus is very essential to ending all of this. Without them, it wouldn't have been possible. So maybe this is an outcome before Blood of the Dead of the characters attempting to break the cycle. They got it wrong multiple times before they successfully do it, which is what we see when we play the game. But it is very, very interesting, and like I said earlier, there are so many more unsolved ciphers in the game, which makes me think maybe there are more alternate endings that we don't know about. But from these ciphers we can see there were two other endings that happened. One in Revelations, where it sounds like Primis ended up having to hide from Dr. Monty, and the other in Classified, where it seems like the characters are attempting to break the cycle. So there we go. That is it for today's video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. As always, hopefully you have enjoyed. If you have, you know what to do. Drop a like rating. Make sure you are subscribed to stay up to date with the latest videos on the channel. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Leave any questions you have down below. And until then, goodbye.